today I'll be opening a Shadows over Innistrad Fat Pack. It's back when they still called them Fat Packs. So let's just jump right in. I did not do a very good job of the initial cut on this plastic, and as such, it did not open very easily. But now that that's out of the way, some cardboard insert that I just threw on the floor. We got a player's guide, which outlines all of the cards, including, oh shoot, it's the best card in the entire set right there. And it has this pretty cool looking but makes terrible sound art thing of that guy. Don't know who he is. I guess I'll find out. Maybe. I could just Google it, but I'm lazy. You don't need to see that. And you don't need to see that. I just realized that I forgot to hit the record button. So I will bring back this art thing. Yes, camera, that is a face. Good job. And this booklet. You didn't see the joke earlier, but I pointed just to this swamp when I said that that was my favorite card in the set, or the best card in the set, rather. That was the joke that you did not see because I did not hit record on the camera. Okay, so here's the actual pack that is fat. Comes with a whole bunch of stuff, including but not limited to cardboard inserts, spin down life counter, 2 cardboard deck boxes with this guy and that guy on them. Whole bunch of booster packs. Even more booster packs. And some lands. haven't done any kind of research on this set whatsoever, so I don't know what to expect at all. I feel like that's par for the course with these videos, but well, I'm the one opening this, so I get to decide the rules, I like to think. Very staticky in here because it's so dry. Let's put these little boxes together. I like these. I'm currently using one to hold all of my tokens. Nice little sword. I like that his sword wraps around. That's pretty cool. Oh, is Avacyn in this set? The new Avacyn. That could be cool. Alright. I'm gonna clean off the table just a little. I don't think we need to go through these, but I'm going to anyway because why not? Keep bonking the camera or the microphone on accident. That's probably not good. Means I'm gonna have to do more work in post. I'll just quickly nothing special, just a bunch of lands and these little dual check marks. Checklists. What do they call them? I don't even know. Put that off to the side and let's see. Oh, hey, we got another rules reference card. I'm just gonna quickly sort these by picture because that makes a huge difference when you're opening them. Let's get started, shall we? First booster. And our first card is Silberland Snapper, 5 and a blue. It's a 6/6 turtle creature. Silberland Snapper can't attack unless you cast a non-creature spell this turn. Nephalia is home to many hard-shelled creatures of unusual size, the largest of which are either avoided or worshipped. Which one is he? Vessel of Ephemera, 1 and a white enchantment. Pay 2 and a white and sacrifice Vessel of Ephemera. Put 2 1/1 white spirit creature tokens with flying onto the battlefield. Geists seeking redemption must first be given the opportunity. Moorland Drifter, 1 and a white spirit creature with delirium. Moorland Drifter has flying as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. It has no apparent purpose or direction. It simply drifts, buoyed by breezes, both tangible and otherworldly. Say 2/2. Warped Landscape. Say land. Tap to add a colorless to your mana pool. Pay 2 and tap. Sacrifice Warped Landscape. Search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield, tapped. Then shuffle your library. Each cryptolith twists the plane's mana, bending its flow to a singular purpose. Reduce to ashes. 4 and a red sorcery. Reduce to ashes deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Previously, the training center for Catharis, the Elgod grounds are no. Previously, the training center for Catharis, the Elgod grounds are now used by Lunarch Inquisition to punish those considered to be heretics. Rapid Bite. 1 and a green sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. You should have seen the look on both their faces. Moorcomp, Lamholt Innkeeper. Alms of the Vein. 2 and a black sorcery. Target opponent loses 3 life and you gain 3 life. Madness for a single black. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost or put it into your graveyard. Cool. Dual Shot. Costs a single red. It's an instant. Dual Shot deals 1 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. Pew pew. There is an eagerness among the quiver of Kessig to prove they are the equal of the other Cathar orders. Olivia's Bloodsworn. 1 and a black. Vampire soldier creature. Say 2/1 with flying. Olivia's Bloodsworn can't block. Pay a red. Target vampire gains haste until end of turn. Griff's Boon is a single white aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +1/+0 and has flying. Pay 3 and a white. Return Griff's Boon from your graveyard to the battlefield attached to target creature. Activate this ability only at any time you could cast a sorcery. Crawling Sensation. 2 and a green enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Whenever 1 or more land cards are put into your graveyard from anywhere, for the first time each turn, put a 1/1 green insect creature token onto the battlefield. And our first rare is Corrupted Graphstone. 2 colorless. Artifact. Corrupted Graphstone enters the battlefield tapped. Tap. Choose a color of a card in your graveyard. Add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. It is all too easy to disturb the blessed sleep. And we got Breakneck Rider, a colorless and 2 red human scout werewolf creature. Say 3/3. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Breakneck Rider. Only the most skillful riders brave the breakneck ride through Kessig. And we got a foil. This was almost a triple rare. That first looked as gold to me, but it is silver. That's really funny. Sorry. Breakneck Rider turns into Neckbreaker. It's a 4/3 werewolf creature. Attacking creatures you control get +1/+0 and have trample. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player cast 2 or more spells last turn, transform Neckbreaker. He can't outrun what he is. And our foil is To the Slaughter. 2 colorless and a black instant. Target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker. Delirium. If there are 4 or more cards among cards, or if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, instead, that player sacrifices a creature and a planeswalker. Where has Little Gossamer gone? Thaniel, Getstaff, Shepherd. We have a little checkbox, and we got a Jace emblem. Whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell each turn, counter that spell. Oh, that's rude. That is a rude emblem. On to the next. Chaplain's Blessing costs a single white sorcery. You gain 5 life. There was a time when the purpose of the church was to heal and protect. I would see that time return. Niblis of Dusk. 2 colorless and a blue. Spirit creature with flying. It's a 2/1 and it has prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn, let me just start over. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It fuels its lanterns by leeching the warmth from its surroundings. Unruly Mob. A colorless and a white. It's a human creature. Costs 1 and a white. It's a 1/1. Whenever another creature you control dies, put a +1/+1 counter on Unruly Mob. Those who aren't welcome will know it. Coleman, Elder of Getstaff. Stallion of Ashmouth. 3 and a black Nightmare Horse. It's a 3/3 with Delirium. For 1 and a black, Stallion of Ashmouth gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Activate this ability only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Echoing Hoofbeats can no longer be assumed to be help from the Gavany Riders. Yikes. Intrepid Provisioner. 3 and a green. Say 3/3 Human Scout. With Trample. When Intrepid Provisioner enters the battlefield, another target human you control gets +2/+2 until end of turn. How do I know where aid is needed? Look around you. Vampire Noble. 2 and a black. Vampire creature. It's a 3/2. No emergency is so dire that it cannot be dealt with elegantly, says Olivia Voldaren. Howlpack Wolf. 2 and a red wolf creature. Howlpack Wolf can't block unless you control another wolf or werewolf. 3/3. Wolves and werewolves join together for the common cause of the hunt. Stoic Builder. 2 and a green. Say 2/3 human creature. When Stoic Builder enters the battlefield, you may return target land from your graveyard to your hand. Some have returned to Hollowhenge, the ruins of Avabrook, to restore the lost capital of Kessig. Reaper of Flight Moonsilver. 3 and 2 white angel creature. Say 3/3 with flying and delirium. Sacrifice another creature. Reaper of Flight Moonsilver gets +2/+1 until end of turn. Activate this ability only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Silver Strike. 3 and a white instant. Destroy target attacking creature. You gain 3 life. Shield yourself with faith. Arm yourself with silver. Slayer Kistin. Pack Guardian. 2 and 2 green. Wolf Spirit. Say 4/3 with flash. You may cast this spell anytime you could cast an instant. When Pack Guardian enters the battlefield, you may discard a land card. If you do, put a 2/2 green wolf creature token onto the battlefield. And we got Ever After. 4 and 2 black. Sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Each of those creatures is a black zombie in addition to its other colors and types. Put Ever After on the bottom of its owner's library. And we got Daring Sleuth. 1 and a blue human rogue. When you sacrifice a clue, transform Daring Sleuth as a 2/1. No matter the cost, I must discover the source of these strange happenings. And we got another foil. Bearer of Overwhelming Truths is what the other guy transformed into. It's a 3/2 human wizard. With prowess, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Whenever Bearer of Overwhelming Truths deals combat damage to a player, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. And our rare. And a foil is Explosive Apparatus. Costs a single, just one artifact. Pay 3 and tap. Sacrifice Explosive Apparatus. Explosive Apparatus deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Souls are volatile things. When compressed and loaded into a handheld device, their destructive potential is quite impressive. Stirk, Geistmage. One of these guys, and a clue token with pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Remember to have generic research. Remember to have generic research Markov manner. Tamayo's journal. On to the next. We have Ghostly Wings, 1 and a blue. Aura enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 and has flying. Discard a card. Return enchanted creature to its owner's hand. Puncturing Light, 1 and a white. Instant. Destroy target attacking or blocking creature with power 3 or less. If you refuse to see the light, then you will feel it. Silent Observer, 3 and a blue. Spirit creature, it's a 1/5 with flying. It's not just a feeling. You are being watched. That's kind of creepy. Senseless Rage, 1 and a red. Aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Madness for 1 and a red. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. Equestrian Skill, 3 and a green. Aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3. As long as enchanted creature is a human, it has trample. From the jagged peaks of Stensia to the tangled woods of Keswick, to the bogs of Nephalia, the Gavany riders prepare for all terrain. Macabre Waltz, 1 and a black. Sorcery. Return up to 2 target creature cards from your graveyard to your hand, then discard a card. Liliana is never one to follow someone else's lead. Pyre Hound, 3 and a red. Elemental Hound creature, say 2/3. It has trample. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Pyre Hound. Its growl is the crackling and popping of wildfire untamed. Might Beyond Reason, 3 and a green. Instant. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. Delirium. Put 3 +1/+1 counters on that creature if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Stromkirk Mentor, 3 and a black. Vampire soldier creature, say 4/2. When Stromkirk Mentor enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on another target vampire you control. The lineage of Runo Stromkirk is known for producing some of Nephalia's greatest fencing masters. Dance with Devils, 3 and a red. Instant. Put 2 1/1 red devil creature tokens onto the battlefield. They have, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. Devils sow chaos and reap panic. Creeping Dead, 3 and a black. Enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player discards a card. Each opponent who discarded a card that shares a card type with the card you discarded loses 3 life. Players reveal the discarded cards simultaneously. Inner Struggle, 3 and a red. Instant. Target creature deals damage to itself equal to its power. Reflect upon your evils, lest they reflect upon you. Inquisitor Laren. Scourge Wolf, 2 red. Is a wolf horror creature with first strike. And Delirium. Scourge Wolf strike as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Say 2/2. And our flip card is Hermit of Natternhalls. 2 and a green human werewolf. Say 2/3. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, draw a card. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Hermit of the Natternhalls. He hates company. He transforms into Lone Wolf of the Natternhalls. Is a werewolf creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell during your turn, draw 2 cards. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player cast 2 or more spells last turn, transform Lone Wolf of the Natternhalls. But he'll have you for lunch. It's an island and a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying. And the next booster pack, we have Devilthorn Fox. 1 and a white fox creature. It's a 3/1. On expeditions through Ashmouth, the hunters of Devilhorn Lodge rely on the cleverness of foxes to counteract the mischief of devils. Catalog. 2 and a blue. Instant. Draw 2 cards, then discard a card. The appearance of these warped stones throughout the provinces is too pervasive to be random. More evidence is needed to determine the reason behind them. Tamiyo's Journal. Thraben Inspector. It's a single white human soldier. Says 1/2. When Thraben Inspector enters the battlefield, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. If you've been at this as long as I have, nothing can surprise you. That's the hope, at least. Moorland Drifter. 1 and a white spirit creature. Say 2/2 with delirium. Moorland Drifter has flying as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. It has no apparent purpose or direction. It simply drifts, buoyed by breezes both tangible and otherworldly. Gone Missing. 4 and a blue sorcery. Put target permanent on top of its owner's library. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2 and sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Sometimes it's best for the lost to stay lost. Herzog, Mayor of Havengold. Warped Landscape. Tap to add a colorless to your mana pool. Pay 2 and tap. And sacrifice Warped Landscape. Search your library for a basic land card and put it onto the battlefield tapped. Then shuffle your library. Each cryptolith twists the plane's mana, bending its flow to a singular purpose. Crow of Dark Tidings. 2 and a black zombie bird. It's a 2/1 with flying. When Crow of Dark Tidings enters the battlefield or dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Insolent Neonate. 1 red. Say 1/1 vampire creature. dangerous though it may be. Silver Strike, 3 and a white, instant. Destroy target attacking creature. You gain 3 life. Shield yourself with faith. Arm yourself with silver. Slayer Castan. Always watching. 1 and 2 white. Non-token creatures you control get +1/+1 and have vigilance. We pray to Avacyn on high. On the snow-white wings, fearless you fly. Keep safe our souls. Keep safe our lives. May angels watch us from the skies. Children's prayer. And our rare is Aberrant Researcher. 3 and a blue human insect creature. It's a 3/2 with flying. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery card, transform Aberrant Researcher. Metamorphosis is a process. Laboratory notes. Perfected form. He transforms into perfected form, which is an insect horror creature. It's a 5/4 with flying. The final pages of the experiment log were blank. Investigators found it abandoned on a desk in the researcher's lab. Open. The pages flipping in the wind from a shattered window. Spooky. Got one of these. And a clue artifact token. Pay 2 and sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. The symbols. When did they change? To Mio's journal. Alright. It's on to the next booster pack. And we got Nagging Thoughts. 1 and a blue sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Madness for 1 and a blue. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. Chaplain's Blessing. A single white sorcery. You gain 5 life. There was a time when the purpose of the church was to heal and protect. I would see that time return. Jace's Scrutiny. 1 and a blue. Instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Just a collage of images. Cryptoliths, the sea, a tangle of shipwrecks. Sanitarium Skeleton. A single black skeleton creature. Say 1/2. Pay 2 and a black. Return a Sanitarium Skeleton from your graveyard to your hand. His mind was lost before his flesh. Shard of Broken Glass. Say costs 1. It's an equipment artifact. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Whenever equipped creature attacks, you may put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Equip for 1. Pay 1. Attach to target creature you control. Equip only as a sorcery. Twins of Marer Estate. 4 and a black. Vampire creature. Say 3/5 with madness for 2 and a black. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost or put it into your graveyard. Children, where are your parents? Says Reek, wandering monk. Last words. Oh no, he did. Structural distortion. 3 and a red. Sorcery. Exile target artifact or land. Structural distortion deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. As Zendikar had bled, so will Innistrad. As I have wept, so will Sorin, says Nahiri. Yikes. Aim high. 1 and a red, 1 and a green. Untap target creature. It gets +2/+2 and gains reach until end of turn. It can block creatures with flying. A Slayer gets by on wits and reflexes. Higa, Slayer Captain of Gestaff. Hope against hope. 2 and a white. Aura enchantment. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each creature you control. As long as enchanted creature is a human, it has first strike. I have given my life to the church, my soul to Avacyn, and my heart to the people. Forsaken Sanctuary. Forsaken Sanctuary enters battle tapped. Tap to add a white or a black to your mana pool. Prayers will curdle on the tongue and be heard by rotting ears. Minaldra, the Visag, a tomb. Sure. Biting Rain. 2 and 2 black. Sorcery. All creatures get -2/-2 until end of turn. Madness. 2 and a black. Excuse me. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. On Innistrad, it is seldom wrong to stay indoors. Tamiyo's Journal. 5. Costs 5. Legendary artifact. At the beginning of your upkeep, investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Tap. Sacrifice 3 clues. Search your library for a card and put that card into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Entry 546. There's more to Avacyn's madness. We got Convicted Killer. 2 and a red. Human werewolf creature. It's a 2/2. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Convicted Killer. None are more dangerous than those who have already been sentenced to death. He transforms into Branded Howler. It's a werewolf creature. It's a 4/4. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player cast 2 or more spells last turn, transform Branded Howler. It is said that one of the most notorious werewolf howl packs, the Vilden, only calls those whose hands are already stained with blood. And we got a 3rd foil in this pack. Moorland Drifter. Oh boy. 1 and a white. Spirit creature. Say 2/2 with Delirium. Moorland Drifter has flying as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. It has no apparent purpose or direction. It simply drifts, buoyed by breezes, both tangible and otherworldly. Got another checklist and a 1/1 Red Devil creature token with, when this creature dies, it deals 1 damage to target creature or player. The first of the Avacyn boosters. Yeah. Wanted to make sure I wasn't telling you a lie. Press for answers. 1 and a blue. It's a sorcery. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Inquisitor's Ox. 3 and a white. Ox creature. Delirium. Inquisitor's Ox gets +1/+0 and has vigilance for as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. It is a 2/5. Many fields now lie fallow in Gavany, as oxen have been confiscated to perform other duties. Just the Wind. 1 and a blue. Instant. Return target creature to its owner's hand. Madness for a single blue. Whoa, I just bumped the table and everything moved. That is for a single blue. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. There's nothing to worry about. Gone Missing. 4 and a blue. Sorcery. Put target permanent on top of its owner's library. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Sometimes it's best for the lost to stay lost. Herzog, Mayor of Havengul. Merciless Resolve. 2 and a black. Instant. As an additional cost to cast Merciless Resolve, sacrifice a creature or land. Draw 2 cards. You sought to anger me, Nahiri. Soon you will see how well you have succeeded. Hulking Devil. 3 and a red. Devil creature. It's a 5/2. Fear the patient devil, the one who is calm in the midst of chaos. Beware the silent devil, the one whose cackle does not mingle with the others. Thornhide Wolves. 4 and a green wolf creature. It's a 4/5. Halana grew brambles to create a barricade around our camp, hoping that it would keep the wolves out. That was a mistake for which we almost paid dearly. Alina, Trapper of Kessig. Murderous Compulsion. 1 and a black. Sorcery. Destroy target tapped creature. Madness. 1 and a black. If you discard this card, tap it into exile. Discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. Thank you. This blade becomes so hot in my hand, but your blood has quenched it. Ember Eye Wolf. 1 and a red. Wolf creature with haste. It's a 1/2. And if you pay 1 and a red, Ember Eye Wolf gets +2/+0 until end of turn. No howl, no snarl, just the roar of flames. Nahiri's Machinations. 1 and a white. Enchantment. At the beginning of combat on your turn, target creature you control gains indestructible until end of turn. 1 and a blue. 1 and a red. Nahiri's Machinations deals 1 damage to target blocking creature. Soren, I'm not going to take everything from you. Oh no, Soren, I am going to take everything from you. Yikes, got her message backwards. Epitaph Golem. It costs 5. It is a golem artifact creature. It's a 3/5. And if you pay 2, you put target card from your graveyard from on the bottom of your library. Many names and many memories bound together in grim purpose. Ulrich's Kindred. 2 and a red wolf creature. It's a 3/2 with trample. If you pay 3 and a green, target attacking wolf or werewolf gains indestructible until end of turn. I am not its master. We are of the same pack. Ulrich, Growlin Horde Alpha. We got Confirm Suspicions. 3 and 2 blue. Instant. Counter target spell. Investigate 3 times. To investigate, put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2, sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Everyone has something to hide. We got another Aberrant Researcher. 3 and a blue human insect with flying, say 3/2. At the beginning of your upkeep, put the top card of your library into your graveyard. If it's an instant or sorcery card, transform Aberrant Researcher. Metamorphosis is a process. Laboratory notes. Turns into Perfected Form, insect horror creature. It's a 5/4 with flying. The final pages of the experiment log were blank. Investigators found it abandoned on a desk in the researcher's lab. Open. The pages flipping in the wind from a shattered window. Another checklist. That's it, just another checklist. Interesting. Unless I forgot, like I missed it. No, doesn't seem so. Feel ripped off now. Okay. Only 2 left. I love opening booster packs. Stormrider Spirit. 4 and a blue spirit creature. Say 3/3 with flash and flying. You may cast this spell anytime you could cast an instant. Thunder isn't all that follows lightning. Stern Constable. Single white human soldier. 1/1. Tap, discard a card, tap target creature. I'm sure you have a story. Everyone has a story. You can tell it to the bars. Press for answers. 1 and a blue sorcery. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Investigate. I'm not going to read out that investigate. We know what it is by now. Hound of the Far Bogs. 4 and a black zombie hound creature. Say 5/3. With Delirium, Hound of the Far Bogs has menace as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. A creature with menace can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. As you hear it baying in the distance, you'll feel its breath on your neck. Reduce to ashes. 4 and a red sorcery. Reduce to ashes deals 5 damage to target creature. If that creature would die this turn, exile it instead. Previously the training center for Cathars. The Elgod grounds are now used by the Lunarch Inquisition to punish those considered to be heretics. Rabid Bite. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. You should have seen the look on both their faces. Moorcamp, Lamholton, Innkeeper. Alms of the Vein. 2 and a black. Sorcery. Target opponent loses 3 life, and you gain 3 life. Madness for 1 black. If you discard this card, discard it into exile. When you do, cast it for its madness cost, or put it into your graveyard. Dual Shot. Costs a single red. It's an instant. Dual Shot deals 1 damage to each of up to 2 target creatures. There is an eagerness among the Quiver of Kessig to prove they are the equal of the other Cathar orders. Confront to the Unknown. Costs a single green. Instant. Investigate. Then target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn for each clue you control. Never flinch from the truth. Thalia, Guardian of Thraben. Epitaph Golem. Costs 5. It's a golem artifact creature. Put target card, or pay 2. Put target card from your graveyard on the bottom of your library. Say 3/5. Many names and many memories bound together in grim purpose. Ravenous Bloodseeker. 1 and a red. Vampire creature. Vampire Berserker creature. Say 1/3. Discard a card. Ravenous Bloodseeker gets +2 -2 until end of turn. Nothing will cool the fire in their blood. They are too far gone. We must keep them away from our towns at any cost. Cosper Low of the Silburn Guard. Call of the Bloodline. 1 and a black. Enchantment. Pay 1 and discard a card. Put a 1/1 black Vampire Knight creature token with lifelink onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only once each turn. At Soren's appeal, Olivia Voldaren summoned the full might of her bloodline together at Lurenbram Fortress. Our rare is Altered Ego. Pay X, 2 of green and a blue. It's a shapeshifter creature. Altered Ego can't be countered. You may have Altered Ego enter the battlefield as a copy of any creature on the battlefield, except it enters with X additional +1/+1 counters. That's fun. And our flip card is Pious Evangel. 2 and a white. Human Cleric. Say 2/2. Whenever Pious Evangel or another creature you enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Pay 2, tap, and sacrifice another permanent. Transform Pious Evangel. My faith guides my hand. He transforms into Wayward Disciple. As a human cleric. Say 2/4. Whenever Wayward Disciple or another creature you control dies, target opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And I will prove my devotion. Another checklist and another clue. pretend like that didn't happen. Stern Constable costs a single white human soldier creature. Say 1/1. Tap, discard a card. Tap target creature. I'm sure you have a story. Everyone has a story. You can tell it to the bars. Press for answers. 1 and a blue. Sorcery. Tap target creature. It doesn't untap during its controller's next untap step. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact. Draw a card. Dauntless Cathar. Pay 2 and a costs 2 and a white. Human Soldier. Say 3/2. Pay 1 and a white. Exile Dauntless Cathar from your graveyard. Put a 1/1 white spirit creature token with flying onto the battlefield. Activate this ability only any time you can cast a sorcery. The harder they try to extinguish my faith, the brighter it burns in the darkness. Stallion of Ashmouth. 3 and a black. Nightmare Horse. Say 3/3 with Delirium. Pay 1 and a black. Stallion of Ashmouth gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Activate this ability only if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. Echoing Hoofbeats can no longer be assumed to be help from the Gavany Riders. Senseless Rage. 1 and a red. Aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature gets +2/+2. Madness for 1 and a red. Loam Dryad. Say costs a single green. Say Dryad Horror. It is a 1/2 and tap an untapped creature you control. Add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. I've never known dryads to suffer visitors in their woods. Beware the Ulvenwald when she welcomes you. Elena, Trapper of Kessig. Crow of Dark Tidings. 2 and a black. Flying. It's a zombie bird with flying. When Crow of Dark Tidings enters the battlefield or dies, put the top 2 cards of your library into your graveyard. Say 2/1. Sanguinary Mage. 1 and a red. Vampire Wizard. Say 1/3 with Prowess. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. New cults rising in Nephalia have found allies in the Stromkirk bloodline, whose progenitor worships ancient and terrible forces. Fork in the Road. 1 and a green. Sorcery. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards and reveal them. Put 1 into your hand and the other into your graveyard, then shuffle your library. This is as far as I go. Beckram, Skiltfolk Escort. Open the Armory. 1 and a white. Sorcery. Search your library for an aura or equipment card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Once Avacyn returned, I hoped I'd never need these things again. I didn't think I'd be dusting them off to use against angels. Tooth Collector. 2 and a black human rogue creature. It's a 3/2, and when Tooth Collector enters the battlefield, target creature an opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Delirium. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, target creature that player controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. Malevolent Whispers. 3 and a red. That would be a good name for a channel. Sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gets +2/+0 and gains haste until end of turn. Madness. 3 and a red. And a rare. Invocation of Saint Traft. 1, a white and a blue. Aura enchantment. Enchant creature. Enchanted creature has, whenever this creature attacks, put a 4/4 white angel creature token with flying onto the battlefield tapped and attacking. Exile that token at the end of combat. That's fun. And our flip card is Accursed Witch. 3 and a black. Human shaman creature. 4/2. Is a 4/2. Spells your opponents cast that target Accursed Witch cost 1 less to cast. When Accursed Witch dies, return it to the battlefield, transformed under your control, attached to target opponent. Infectious Curse. Aura, Curse, Enchantment. Enchant player. Spells you cast that target enchanted player cost 1 less to cast. At the beginning of enchanted player's upkeep, that player loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. That's fun. And we got another checklist and another clue. They pushed these clues hard, didn't they? And last, maybe least, whatever is inside of this booster pack. I tried to think of something better to say, but that's what you're gonna have to deal with. You could call it a nagging thought. We have nagging thoughts. 1 and a blue. It's a sorcery. Look at the top 2 cards of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the other into your graveyard. Madness for 1 and a blue. Chaplain's Blessing costs a single white. Sorcery. You gain 5 life. There was a time when the purpose of the church was to heal and protect. I would see that time return. Jace's Scrutiny. 1 and a blue. Instant. Target creature gets -4/-0 until end of turn. Investigate. Put a colorless clue artifact token onto the battlefield with pay 2. Sacrifice this artifact, draw a card. Just a collage of images. Cryptoliths, the sea, a tangle of shipwrecks. Ethereal Guidance. 2 and a white. Sorcery. Creatures you control get +2/+1 until end of turn. The call of blessed sleep is not so strong as the call to protect those in need. Saint Traft. Moldgraph Scavenger. 1 and a green. Fungus creature. It's a 0/4 with Delirium. Moldgraph Scavenger gets +3/+0 as long as there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard. When I was a child, we worried about picking the wrong mushrooms for the cook pot. Now we must worry about being picked ourselves. Halana Kessig Ranger. Structural Distortion. 3 and a red. Sorcery. Exile target artifact or land. Structural Distortion deals 2 damage to that permanent's controller. As Zendikar has bled, so will Innistrad. As I have wept, so will Sorin. Aim high. 1 and a blue. That's not blue, that's green. Instant. Untap target creature. It gets +2/+2 and gains reach until end of turn. It can block creatures with flying. A Slayer gets by on wits and reflexes. This is Higa, Slayer Captain of Getstaff. Shambleback. Costs a single black. Sorcery. Exile target creature card from a graveyard. Put a 2/2 black zombie creature token onto the battlefield. You gain 2 life. Lost loved ones are never truly gone. Groundskeeper. Costs a single green. Human druid creature. Say 1/1 with pay 1 and a green. Return target basic land card from your graveyard to your hand. While the church thinks in terms of legacies, others think in terms of eternities. Erdwall Illuminator. 1 and a blue. Spirit creature. Say 1/3 with flying. Whenever you investigate for the first time each turn, investigate an additional time. When all else fails, follow the Geist's lantern. Says Valon, Thraben Inspector. Gibbering Fiend. 1 and a red. Devil. Say 2/1. When Gibbering Fiend enters the battlefield, it deals 1 damage to each opponent. Has Delirium. At the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, if there are 4 or more card types among cards in your graveyard, Gibbering Fiend deals 1 damage to that player. Cool. And another Corrupted Graphstone. Costs 2 colorless. Artifact. Corrupted Graphstone enters the battlefield tapped. Choose a color of a card in your graveyard. Add 1 mana of that color to your mana pool. It's all too easy to disturb the blessed sleep. Ooh, we got a foil. But we didn't see that. Gutstaff Arsonist. 4 colorless and a red. Human werewolf creature. At the beginning of each upkeep, if no spells were cast last turn, transform Gutstaff Arsonists. The glow in their eyes reveals more than anger or madness. Say 5/4, and he transforms into Gutstaff Ravagers, werewolf creature. Say 6/5 with menace. At the beginning of each upkeep, if a player cast 2 or more spells last turn, transform Gutstaff Ravagers. And our rare is Sleep Paralysis. Aura, it costs 3 and a blue. Aura Enchantment. Enchant creature. When sleep paralysis enters the battlefield, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its controller's untap step. Sleep doesn't always mean rest. Got another checklist and a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Alright. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed.